What's up, guys? Today I'll recap a chilling horror suspense film called Never Let Go. Spoilers are coming, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts deep in the Canadian woods, where a mother who we'll call Mama lives with her twin boys, Samuel and Nolan, and their loyal dog, Coda. They all live in an old cabin far away from anyone else. Mama has told her boys that the world ended a long time ago because of something terrible she calls the evil. She says this evil wiped out everyone, even the boys' dad and grandparents. To keep safe, Mama has one strict rule: they must stay connected to the house by ropes. If they wander too far, she warns, the evil will come for them, just like it did to the others. The evil sometimes appears to Mama as her own mother, a haunting figure with a serpent-like tongue. It's terrifying for Mama, but strangely, the boys have never seen the evil themselves. Life in the woods is tough, so the three of them venture out to search for food whenever they can. They mostly catch squirrels, small critters, and even gnaw on pieces of tree bark to survive. One day, while hunting for food, Nolan notices a nest with an egg just out of reach beyond the safety of the ropes. Determined to get it, he asks Sam to help, but things go wrong when Nolan thinks he overhears Sam saying that Mama loves him more. Upset, Nolan steps on Sam's rope, causing him to slip and fall hard, so hard that he breaks his foot. In a panic, Nolan quickly blows a whistle to alert Mama, who rushes over to protect them. Suddenly, the evil appears in the form of their grandmother but doesn't harm them. Instead, it watches silently and then fades away, leaving the family shaken yet strangely unharmed. 1. The rope is your lifeline. When they get back to the cabin, Mama carefully tends to Sam's injured foot and gives Nolan a stern lecture. She's upset with him for risking Sam's safety and for not following the rules. To keep them safe, Mama makes the boys sit down on the wooden floor. She places her hands on their shoulders, and together they chant a mantra she taught them to drive the evil away. She tells them this ritual is powerful and will keep their family safe from harm. Later, Nolan and Sam are alone, and Nolan admits why he stepped on Sam's rope. He tells Sam he thought he heard him say that Mama loves him more. At dinner, Mama shares a chilling story with her sons about how the evil works its tricks. She warns them that the evil can disguise itself and try to fool people into letting down their guard. She tells them that many years ago, she saw what looked like a little girl stuck with her foot in a gopher hole. The girl was screaming and crying, begging for someone to help her, but Mama felt a deep sense of danger and decided not to go near the girl. Instead, she watched from afar as the girl's cries faded, and eventually the figure just seemed to die and rot away. Mama explains that she never dared to go and check if the girl was real because she believed the evil wanted her to fall into a trap. By sharing this story, Mama reminds her sons that even if something looks harmless or innocent, the evil can be behind it, ready to strike. Late at night, the evil comes back to haunt Mama. This time, it takes the form of the boys' father, who they called Papa. He appears out of the shadows, calling Mama by her real name, whispering Junebug like he used to. His voice sounds gentle, but there's something dark in his eyes. Papa tells Mama that she should finally tell the boys the truth about how the evil came to be. His tone turns threatening as he warns her that if she doesn't, the evil might force her to harm her own sons. Mama stands frozen, realizing that the evil is twisting everything she once loved into something terrifying. Mama tries to bring a bit of joy and warmth into their quiet, isolated life. She sets up an old record player she's kept hidden and lets the crackling music fill the room. She calls her boys over, and they all gather around the fire, the flickering flames casting cozy shadows on the walls. As the music plays, Mama starts dancing, encouraging the boys to join in. At first, they're shy and giggle at her funny moves, but soon enough, they're all dancing together, laughing and twirling around. For a moment, it feels like the outside world doesn't matter, and they're just a family, safe and happy in their little cabin. 2. How will I feed my children? Mama worries about how she'll keep her boys fed, so they all go out searching for food in the forest. As they carefully step through the trees, Nolan suddenly realizes he's drifted away from the others. Fear starts to creep in as he notices he's no longer connected to the rope. He's alone, with only the shadows around him. Out of nowhere, the evil grabs hold of him, pulling him into darkness. But then, Nolan jolts awake, realizing it was only a nightmare. Yet when he looks around, he's actually outside, away from the safety of the rope, his heart pounding. Mama finds him and quickly pulls him back to the cabin. She's worried that the evil might have reached him. To protect him, she locks Nolan in the cellar under the floorboards. She tells him it's to help cleanse him from any darkness the evil might have left behind, making sure he's safe before he can come back upstairs. Mama heads out into the woods, determined to find something for her family to eat. As she's searching, the evil suddenly appears, creeping into her mind with a terrifying vision. In this twisted image, she sees Nolan, helpless and alone, with a huge crow attacking him. The bird's sharp beak strikes again and again, going for his face, as if to tear him apart. Mama gasps, frozen with fear, unable to shake the horrifying picture from her mind. She knows it's just another cruel trick from the evil, but the image feels all too real, making her heart race with panic for her son's safety. With winter closing Closing in, Mama realizes their food supply is almost gone. Desperate, she pulls her sons aside and suggests something they never expected. She thinks they should eat Coda, their faithful dog, to survive. Sam, trusting his mother, agrees to go along with her plan, but Nolan is horrified. He can't believe they would even consider such a thing. Angrily, he shouts that he hates them both for thinking of it. He glares at them, feeling betrayed, as if they've crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Mama takes Coda outside, aiming her crossbow with shaky hands, ready to do what she thinks is necessary for her family's survival. But when it comes down to it, she can't bring herself to harm their loyal dog. She lowers the weapon, heart heavy with guilt and relief. Watching all of this, Nolan decides to take matters into his own hands. Angry and determined to prove his point, he cuts Mama's rope and locks her in the shed, shouting that there is no evil. He's certain because he hasn't been harmed. Mama pounds on the door, pleading with Nolan to let her out. She's desperate, and as the shadows in the shed begin to shift, she finally confesses that she hadn't told them everything about the evil. Suddenly, Mama is confronted by the image of her own mother, taunting her with memories she's tried to bury. The vision sneers, reminding her of how she once had to kill her own husband and parents to protect her children from the evil. But now it's back, and it's here for her. In a final, tragic act, Mama takes control one last time, cutting her own throat to keep the evil from spreading further. When Sam finally manages to open the shed, he finds his mother's lifeless body and falls to his knees, weeping over her. 3. What will become of us? After Mama's tragic death, the boys find themselves in a tough spot. Food is running out fast, and Sam begins to feel very weak and sick, his energy slipping away like the last rays of sunlight. Nolan knows he has to do something. He ties his rope to Sam's rope, hoping to keep them connected, and decides to venture out into the forest. As he walks, Nolan keeps calling for help, hoping someone will hear him. Eventually, he stumbles upon a road and starts shouting, feeling a mix of hope and fear. When he finally makes it back to the cabin, he finds a hitchhiker who introduces himself as Cole. Cole says he heard Nolan's call for help and wants to offer them food. But just as they're talking, Sam appears, holding the crossbow tightly. Seeing Cole, Sam feels threatened. Cole tries to back away, but in a panic, Sam shoots an arrow right through him. Nolan rushes after Cole, who collapses against a tree, blood soaking his shirt as he desperately dials for help. Nolan quickly grabs the bag that Cole dropped and rushes back to Sam, handing him the food inside. Even though Sam is furious with Nolan for breaking the rules, he can't help but eat the food. Slowly, he starts to feel stronger, the food giving him the energy he desperately needs. Sam steps outside, hoping to catch a glimpse of Mama, but instead, he's met with a horrifying sight. Her rotting corpse lies in the shed, a chilling reminder of the loss they've suffered. Just as he's trying to process what he sees, a young girl suddenly appears from behind him. She introduces herself as Cole's daughter, saying she's been waiting for her dad to come back. Sam stumbles over his words, trying to explain that he didn't see Cole, but the girl looks at the flashlight in his hand and recognizes it as her father's. Confused and worried, Sam attempts to reason with her, but before he can say much more, she turns and runs into the woods. Sam instinctively chases after her, his heart racing with curiosity and concern. However, as he runs, his rope gets tangled in the trees, making it hard for him to move. Suddenly, the girl stops and begins to change before his eyes. She transforms into a creepy spider creature, its many legs twitching with a dark energy. In that terrifying moment, Sam realizes he's not just chasing a little girl anymore. He's become a target of the evil. The creature lunges at him, infecting him with its dark power, and Sam feels a wave of dread wash over him, knowing he's trapped in a nightmare. Nolan finally finds Sam outside, but something is very wrong. Sam, now twisted and corrupted by the evil, starts to taunt Nolan, his eyes filled with darkness. In a shocking move, Sam locks Nolan in a room upstairs and then sets the house on fire, watching with a wicked grin as flames roar and smoke fills the sky. Desperate to escape, Nolan manages to break free from the room, but just as he steps out, he's confronted by the evil, taking the form of Mama. It tries to mock him, whispering cruel things and attempting to infect him as well. Feeling trapped, Nolan runs into the cellar, hoping to hide from its haunting presence. But the evil isn't done yet. It follows him inside, and in a moment of courage, Nolan decides to fight back. He grabs onto the evil, holding tight and pouring all his love for his mother into his thoughts. As he does this, the evil's true form begins to change. It transforms into a terrifying, scaly lizard monster, hissing and writhing in anger. But instead of being afraid, Nolan embraces it, sharing his love and memories of Mama. In a surprising twist, the lizard monster seems to soften, wrapping its tail around him before finally disappearing into the shadows, leaving Nolan in silence. For the first time, he feels free from the evil's grip. Firefighters rush to the scene where the house once stood, now just a pile of smoldering ashes and charred wood. They dig through the debris and soon find Nolan alive, sheltering under the cellar. He looks up at them, relief washing over him, knowing he's safe at last. Nearby, Sam is also rescued, his face pale, but but alive. As they are taken away in a helicopter, their loyal dog Coda races after them, barking loudly, desperate to stay with his family. The sound of his paws pounding against the ground fills the air, echoing their connection and love for one another. In the chaos, Sam pulls out a Polaroid photo he took earlier, and it catches Nolan's eye. In the picture, the evil's dark hand rests ominously on Sam's shoulder, a reminder of the terror they faced. Nolan turns to Sam and smiles, saying softly, "We're finally free." But Sam's eyes glance down at the ground, and he mutters quietly, "She loves me more." This haunting phrase hangs in the air, hinting that the shadows of their past may linger a little longer, even as they try to move on. Which movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Produced by Warner Talks.